Represented mob boss Joey Merlino in the city's last big federal racketeering case. Now, the move comes as reports surface of a rift between Legambi and his jailed nephew, George Borghese, who is also charged in the case. Fox 29's Dave Schwattweiser live with the inside scoop between these two top wise guys.
Lauren, this situation bears watching because mob insiders say this is not good, the relationship between Legambi and Borghese. The dispute is over mob money and whether Borghese's family has been taken care of during his 12 years behind bars. He is still behind bars. The situation, according to insiders, got so bad recently that Borghese turned down a prison visit from his own uncle, Joe Legambi. All right, George, 1 week after the big federal indictment on the South Philly mob, and we're hearing buzz on the street about a fractured relationship between mob boss Joe Legambi, the #1 defendant in this case, and George Borghese, number 3 or 4 on the defendant list, who's also his nephew.
Well, I don't think this is new, but it gets highlighted because now they're co-defendants in this case, and Borghese, who thought he was about to come home, may not be coming home. So how does he react to that? Conversely, how does Legambi react to the fact that it was Borghese's guy who brought an informant into their midst and wiretapped or body wire and recorded some conversation?
All right, you know the two personalities. Measure this up for me here as to, high-strung George Borghese and low-key Joe Legambi, who has quite a temper himself from what I'm told. Yeah. How does that all play out, you think?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's going to depend on what they're looking at. If this remains a racketeering gambling case, where the sentences are 8 to 10 years, this thing probably can get resolved. And I wouldn't be surprised down the road if everybody pleads out. That's probably the smart move in this thing. Right. If it becomes more serious, if acts of violence get added to this, if there are murders, then I think all bets are off. We don't know what's going to happen.
No doubt the FBI and the feds are moving pieces around the chessboard here trying to pressure guys.
I think that's part of what this is about. And the other frustration from Borghese's perspective is the guys he was convicted with, Johnny Chang, Stevie Mazzone, Joey Merlino in a halfway house, they're all going to be back out and allegedly filling this vacuum that's been created, whereas he's going to be maybe behind bars for 10, 12 more years.
All right, so the question is, could you see him cooperating?
That's the fundamental question. I don't think anybody thinks it will happen given the scenario as it exists right now. If it becomes a murder case, if it becomes a potential life sentence, then I think you got to reevaluate everybody's position in this case.
All right, now Legambi's new lawyer, Ed Jacobs, says this is much ado about nothing and will not impact the case. Late this afternoon, a federal judge denied bail to Martin Angelina, the mob underboss. He will now stay here at the Federal Detention Center with Legambi and 5 others until their trial, Lauren, which could be as much as a year away.
I know you're going to stay on top of this one. All right, Dave, thanks. Okay. And up next on Fox